Welcome back to the Smoke Shack Podcast. This is Steven. Today I'll be bringing you a solo review on the Man O' War Armada. It's a very good looking cigar. Great toothiness to it. That wrapper is a milk chocolate look to it. I don't know if you can see too well in the camera or if you can see the toothiness on the cigar. Great looking veins as well. The cap, very large cap. Beautiful looking, nicely constructed as far as the pre-light. Maybe just a touch bit soft as far as the firmness. Body is very light. It's more of a hay smell. You got chocolate. It's cinnamon. Chocolate and cinnamon or baking spices right there at the foot as far as the aroma. Gonna go ahead and give this thing a straight cut. Wow, the chocolate and cinnamon are just coming right out of there on the pre-light. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and light up and come back to you here shortly. Wow, so far the notes of this cigar are fantastic. Got some caramel, chocolate, those baking spices are coming out in the form of that cinnamon, some espresso, even like a sweet buttercream. It looks like a little bit of an ash problem there. Man, it's also starting off pretty strong. Seems like a medium, maybe even a medium full. I'm going to smoke this down a little bit more, get you more thoughts. So far, coming down into about the halfway point in the first third. Looks like we got pretty wavy ash going here. At least the char line. Looks like a little bit of a hole maybe popped open there. The draw has been maybe just a little bit loose, could have been because of that hole there in the cigar, but flavor profile is that espresso like I talked about, the red pepper, cinnamon, the buttercream, and a nice sweet chocolate. Very, very tasty in the first third. Slightly coarse. It wants to be that 5 out of 5 smooth, but it's just slightly coarse. Everything else, the richness of the flavor, the complexity as far as having 6 flavors in here and then them all being balanced is really nice. This is an AJ Fernandez product. I don't think I've mentioned that yet. The wrapper is an Ecuadorian Sumatra, and then you got the binder is Nicaraguan, as well as the filler is also Nicaraguan. I'm going to go ahead and smoke this down. Hopefully get here into the second third and give you more thoughts on this smoke. Getting into the second third here, I got a hole in the cigar. I try to put it right on so you can try to see that. But a hole right there in the cigar. The draw is slightly loose because of that, maybe even more on the looser side, but the notes are chocolate, cinnamon, buttercream, brown sugar, and a touch of cedar. Seems like the red espresso, or the red pepper, the espresso have kind of taken a back step here. Kind of that flavor bomb out of the gate. We kind of get 3 of those flavors back here to roll into the second third. And they are the main flavors, so I guess that is kind of a knock here on that cigar. Still very rich. I think maybe I misspoke earlier when I said the cigar was coarse. I think just the the espresso and red pepper, maybe they just weren't balanced together, and that was the reason for the coarseness, because right now it is rather smooth, very rich. Again, like I'm saying, I did happen to have to touch this up with my butane lighter because of the waviness of the ash due to the hole. I'm going to smoke it down a little bit more, give you any more ideas here on my, or thoughts here on my second third, and maybe see you back here in the final third. Bringing you back in just to give you a highlight of this ash. You can see the toothiness right on it. It's beautiful. It is slightly flaky though, as you can see on this side, due to that hole. But other than that, it is a good looking ash. Char line is, after I fix it up with the butane, starting to even out a little bit more. Still slightly wavy. Pull is still slightly loose on the draw. But as far as the flavors go, still very rich. You know, the chocolate, the buttercream, get that cinnamon. Again, very enjoyable as far as the flavor goes. Wish that this thing didn't have a hole in it so that I could give you guys an even better review. But maybe this is a more common issue with these Man of War cigars. I'm not sure. I haven't had many in the past. This is probably the first one I've had in a few months, and definitely those two were probably the first that I've had in a couple of years. So again, not too familiar with the Man of War products, but as far as richness and flavor goes, this is a great product so far. Jumping back in here, just wanted to show you guys the ash that's built up on this thing. It's great looking. As far as the length goes, but it is a little crooked. We do have that hole that was on this side of the cigar. It's making it lean a little bit. As far as, you know, final thoughts here on the second third, there was the flavor profile was chocolate, buttercream, cinnamon, brown sugar, and a little bit of cedar in there as well. The main flavors though were the chocolate, buttercream, and cinnamon, which came over from that first third, which were kind of main flavors there as well. Would like to see the brown sugar or cedar kind of take over more of a main flavor role here, but as far as the richness of the flavor, it is extremely rich, extremely smooth, very intricate as far as the flavors that they're using here, and well balanced, rather than the first third, which had a little bit of a balance issue with the, I believe it was the red pepper and the espresso together was just not balanced correctly. But so far, enjoyable smoke besides that hole, and then the slightly loose draw because of the hole. But as you can see, char line starting to even back out, and I'll catch you back up here in the final third. Getting here into the final third, as you can see, the char line is kind of even itself back out from that initial shaky start. As far as the flavors go, the flavor profile here, there's the cream, the cocoa or the chocolate that we had before. There's coffee flavor and some cedar. That cream is extremely creamy. It's very milky. You can kind of taste the milk, that creamy milk. It's very enjoyable. That chocolate, it's not as sweet as before. It's more of that cocoa powder now. And then the espresso is really light. It's more of a coffee flavor rather than the full-body espresso that is there. As far as the full strength finish here, you think you would get the full strength flavors. So it's kind of nice to get that different taste with the full strength of the cigar as far as the nicotine hit. I mean, really smooth here as well. You would think with it really kicking up in strength that maybe the coarseness would take over a little bit. But all in all, really enjoyable final third here so far. I'm going to take this band off. Put too much glue on there. So just pull it off the top. but I mean, final third so far is really good. I'm going to come back to you here shortly with my final thoughts on the final third and the rest of the cigar. Coming back here with the final third, my final thoughts here in the final third. Kind of spoke to the flavor profile already, but I'm going to touch on it again here. Again, really creamy, very milky taste. The cocoa coffee taste in there is great too. Cedar as well. There's some subtle red pepper that's coming into play right now, which is really nice. Again, it's staying really smooth, intricate, rich in flavor, and very harmonious as far as the flavors go themselves. It is a full body finish or full strength finish. As far as the strength goes throughout the cigar, it was a medium start, maybe even a medium full. That second third was a medium full, and then this final third here is finally kicked up to that full strength. The finish itself, I would like the finish to be just a little bit longer on this cigar. I'm going to go ahead and put that down while I talk about this. The finish was rich in flavor, but again, would like it to be just a little bit longer. The evolution, it was rather linear, but rather elaborate at the same time. It used a lot of the same flavors throughout, but those flavors did kind of change as far as their intensity. So like the espresso coming back down to the coffee taste at the end, that cream really becoming buttery in the middle, and then really milky at the end. Just nice, subtle, elaborate evolutions of those flavors themselves, but they did use a lot of the same flavors, so that was kind of a hit there. As far as the combustion goes, you guys saw I had a hole in mine. Even at the end here, it is still slightly loose on the draw, even with the char line being back to even. Still loose on that draw. Looks like the ash itself is pretty good right now. Again, the ash is pretty solid throughout, but that hole really kind of flaked everything out. As far as total taste score, I got a 67 out of 70 on my taste score. Pre-light, we had a 9 out of 10 because it was slightly soft, and then combustion-wise, a 7 out of 10. Just with the waviness from the hole in general, and then the draw being slightly loose. That gives us an overall total, oh, I forgot my presentation score, a 9 out of 10 there. Overall total of a 92 out of 100. Very enjoyable cigar. This thing does MSRP, which I'm sure people don't really buy anything for MSRP, but it MSRPs for $25 a stick, which I would not pay probably more than $12, $15 for this cigar. It was very enjoyable. I would smoke it again, but that being said, it wasn't something that I'm spending $25 on, or something more than $15 for a single in a cigar lounge. Anyway, if you like this video, go ahead and leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel, follow the channel if you haven't already. Leave a comment what you're smoking tonight. Have you smoked any of the Man O' War products in the past? What are your thoughts? Did you also have some combustion issues? Would like to know anything as far as our videos. We know that we're pretty new, so just leave any comments down below of anything that you'd like to see more of. Look forward to seeing you next time here on the Smoke Shack.